Howdy gamers, and welcome to another edition of Bargain Bin Gaming. My name is Patrick Icky Jr., Editor-in-Chief of ReviewFix.com, and this week we will be discussing the uber rare, hard to find, sneaky little title known as Pride FC. Okay? For those that aren't into MMA, you're probably a loser, as it's the fastest growing sport in the United States. But back in 2003, this game was released for the PS2 to little to no fanfare. There were a couple of commercials that came out during that time, and THQ tried to really push it, but it didn't really catch on, and it's been a bargain bin title for a very long time when it's found. I mean, I don't even know how many copies of this game are around in the United States, because I mean, after the first couple of months that it was out, I didn't see it anywhere in stores. But for those of you that have it, or for those of you that are willing to sift through bargain bin racks at GameStop or your local video game store, this is the game that made the UFC games that are out today. It's essentially the same engine. The action, you might even argue, is a little faster paced. The matches in this game can last 10 seconds. And if you make a mistake and you leave yourself open to a big right hand and you fall down, and you have a grappler, somebody that can kind of handle themselves on the ground, you're going to be in trouble. So it's incredibly realistic. I mean, Anchor did a great job on this game. THQ did an excellent job on this game, as it's just really fun to play. The character models are very, very solid. It's just all there. So again, it's not the best fighting game on the PS2, obviously, as it didn't sell very well. But the thing is, as far as an MMA game, this game was a step above the Ultimate Fighting game that was on the Dreamcast, which is arguably one of the top 10 games ever on the Sega Dreamcast. So knowing that, you know that Pride FC Fighting Championships is a solid game. So again, you add in the very solid character models, easy control. I mean, a little kid can play this game and have fun with it. And just, let's just say, very interesting cutscenes at the end of fights. When you get to watch a guy tap out, or you get to watch the knockout in slow motion, it recaptures that feeling that watching the UFC would give you. So, or watching Pride when Pride was still around and wasn't bought out by the UFC. So overall, if you're looking for a game that kind of mimics the feeling of the Ultimate Fight, you can't really go much. You can't really do much better than Pride FC. So again, solid graphics, easy, intuitive control, and tons of great fighters too. I forgot to mention that. I mean, Ken Shamrock is in this game. Don the Predator Fry. So I mean, all the guys that were from UFC and that went over to Japan are in this game. So if you're an older UFC fanatic, you'll fall in love with this game. It's a lot of fun. It's great in multiplayer situations. I mean, a couple of times I've hung out with a couple of friends and we've just played this game and beat the crap out of each other. You gotta be careful though, because afterwards you might want to try some of these moves on your friends, but I tell you not to, because you could hurt somebody. But again, overall, as far as bargain bin titles go, Pride FC is a rare gem on the PS2, and if you can find it, it's well worth your time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on.